ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਰੋਸਰੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਵੱਧਦੀਆਂ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੱਦੇਨਜ਼ਰ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਦੇ ਐਰਨ ਵਿਲਸ ਵਿਖੇ ਸਥਿਤ ਇੱਕ ਗਰੋਸਰੀ ਸਟੋਰ ਵਿਖੇ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਆਫ ਵੂਮਨ ਐਂਡ ਜੈਂਡਰ ਇਕੁਐਲਿਟੀ ਐਂਡ ਸੈਕਟਰੀ ਆਫ ਸਟੇਟ ਸਮਾਲ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਐਂਡ ਟੂਰਿਜ਼ਮ ਰੀਚੀ ਵਲਡੇਸ ਦੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਪਰਿਵਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗਰੋਸਰੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਵੱਧਦੀਆਂ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਕੁਝ ਰਾਹਤ ਦੇਣ ਲਈ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਲਿਬਰਲ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਐਲਾਨੇ ਗਏ ਗਰੋਸਰੀ ਰਿਬੇਟ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਸਥਾਰ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਸਾਂਝੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ 22 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਪਰਿਵਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰੇਗਾ। ਇਸ ਮੌਕੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਐਮਪੀ ਇਕਰਾ ਖਾਲਿਦ ਵੀ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਸੀ। ਅਖੀਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਵਲਦੇਸ ਦੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਪੱਤਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਵਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਵਾਬ ਵੀ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਗਏ।
Well, good morning, everyone. Bonjour to le monde. It's really wonderful to be here. Thank you, Iqra Khalid, MP from Mississauga, Erin Mills, for welcoming us in your beautiful writing. Um, as Iqra has already alluded to, here in Mississauga, we know how hard our citizens and constituents work. But what we have been hearing from our constituents is the challenges they're having when it comes to affordability. And I want to thank MP Iqra Khalid along with all of our incredible Mississauga MPs who are incredible advocates and strong voices in Parliament. We're also joined by Nancy Guzzo from Food for Kids and Peter Costello from Eden Food for Change. So I'd like to welcome and also say thank you for joining our announcement this morning. I'm here to talk about what we've been hearing everywhere we go, whether it's from parents, seniors, students, middle-class Canadians. The cost of living and the rising price of groceries and everyday essentials, we know, adds up. For too many families, the grocery bill has become the most stressful part of the week. We've heard this directly from our constituents. You walk into the grocery store, we're here as well in Iqbal Foods, and you check the prices, you make trade-offs. Often you might leave something on the shelf as opposed to taking it with you, and that pressure adds up very quickly. And we are seeing more and more of our neighbors relying on food banks to get by. And before I get into it, I do want to give a big shout out to Iqbal and for his entire team. We've had an opportunity, Iqra and I, of walking around this beautiful grocery store to see the offerings that they have. They're getting ready for Ramadan. And it's just incredible to be here in a local grocery store. Iqra was sharing with me the work that they did over the Christmas holidays to make sure that Mississauga constituents here are able to get a break when it comes to the grocery prices as well. So everything that we can do for our constituents really matters. But today, earlier this week, we had Prime Minister Mark Carney announce this, but we are introducing the new Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit. For those of you that haven't heard the news on this yet, this new benefit will support more than 12 million low and modest income Canadians, including 5 million Ontarians right here. That's 1 in 3 Canadians who will get to benefit from this. And here's what the Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit means for you. This new benefit will replace the existing GST credit that you get 4 times a year. And this is really important. It will be more generous. First, we will increase this new benefit by 25% for 5 years starting July of 2026. And second, we will add a one-time payment this year equivalent to a 50% increase in the current benefit. This difference is considerable. So if you're a single person, that means you'll receive up to $950 this year. For a family of 4, that they will receive $1,890 this year alone. And with these increased benefits, these are maximum levels, and we're fully offsetting the grocery cost increases beyond overall inflation since the pandemic. This support will be arriving in eligible Canadian bank accounts in the coming weeks, and again, help with cover the cost of groceries, school supplies, transit, and everyday essentials. This benefit is automatic. So good news, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to apply for anything. So long as you filed your taxes, your tax return, this benefit will certainly reach you. And that matters again because families are stretched, as Iqra has already said, and the last thing they need to do is more paperwork. More importantly, this benefit is indexed to inflation and it's paid for 4 times a year. That means as the cost of living changes, the benefits will adjust automatically as well. It is designed so support does not fall behind the prices as they rise, and Canadians shouldn't have to come back year after year asking for more to catch up. This fits into our government's broader plan to help Canadians manage costs right now. Since forming government, we've already cut taxes for 22 million Canadians, so people are keeping more of their paychecks. This is saving a dual income family up to $840 a year. So this benefit is above and beyond that. And in case you missed it, we also made our national school food program permanent. This is going to help feed kids in school, 400,000 to be exact, across the country. And for those of you that missed this announcement, we're automatically tax filing 5.5 million Canadians. Often, if you don't file your taxes, you're missing out on essential federal benefits. So we're automatically doing that for Canadians. But again, Canadians also want to know that we're tackling the root causes of the grocery prices, which are still very high. So, yes, we're taking care of Canadians, putting more money back into their pockets. But in terms of tackling the root causes, we're going to make sure that our government is also strengthening Canada's food system. And so, how we're going to do that is we're going to be supporting Canadian producers so more food is grown here at home in Canada. And that includes lowering the upfront financial burden that building greenhouses costs across the country. I've heard directly from small businesses, they also need help as they transition. So we're providing funding to food businesses, including small and medium sized businesses right across Ontario and the country to help manage the costs they've been receiving due to supply chain pressures. So the costs, again, are not passed down to us at the grocery store. We're also investing 20 million to support local food banks and community organizations because no one should have to choose between paying bills and putting food on the table. We're also developing a national food security strategy focused on affordability, transparency for you as consumers, helping with competition and introducing stronger oversight so that food supply chains also get the support. This is how we are responding to the changing world. And also, we know that we can't control everything when it comes to global disruption, but what we can control is how we support families right here at home in Mississauga. So our message is simple. Your grocery bills are likely higher than it used to be, and our federal government is providing support to help make groceries and living essentials more affordable for Canadians. So the Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit is relief now, providing families much needed support and room, and we will continue to work together to strengthen our economy and build Canada and Mississauga strong. Thank you so much for joining us again for this important announcement.
Taranjeet from Red FM. We know, like after housing crisis, but now these days, grocery prices are the main concern of the Canadians. And the announcement you have done, it is a temporary relief. What is government doing to cap the grocery prices because the big companies are making big profits and the Canadians are struggling day by day?
Yeah, I think that's a great question as well. So, as I mentioned again, just to reinforce what I've already said, through our national food security strategy, we're taking multiple approaches. We're working directly with our small and medium sized enterprises who are being challenged that need to transition. We're promoting Buy Canadian, and that means also supporting our local farmers, helping with food competition. Because as we do that, it'll help with address food insecurity, help SMEs when they're transitioning, which prevents the prices coming back down to consumers like us. And again, this measure is above and beyond that, helping put money directly back into the pockets of Canadians. I'll just mention, since you brought up housing, I think that's a really important issue here because Iqra and I know we've heard from our constituents it isn't just grocery prices. We're seeing the rising cost of housing affordability. One of the things that Minister Gregor is putting forward is our Build Canada homes. We have an ambitious plan to double the rate of housing, and so with our budget that we recently put forward, we're significantly investing in housing and infrastructure and the critical needs in cities like Mississauga as well. Iqra and I, we meet very closely with our mayor, Mayor Parish, with Peel Region, and so through our collaboration and those conversations that we continually have as members of Parliament, we're continuing to advocate to all levels of government, working very closely with them to ensure that we're addressing those acute needs for Canadians.